Many students are subjected to harassment, bullying, and ragging. Under pressure, they resort to suicide. There are many cases like this. Many such incidents have been reported from Kerala and Kota in Rajasthan. One such incident has sparked massive outrage and protest from students. Here is what happened. On 29th March 2025, in Uttar Pradesh, Allahabad, which is now known as Prayagraj, there is an area called as Jalwa. There is a college named IIIT Allahabad. There is a 5-story men's hostel where a deaf student was staying. The student was in the first year of college. He jumped and committed suicide. Here is what happened. The student's name was Rahul Madala Chaitanya. He's originally from Nizamabad, Telangana. He was at the IIIT college and he was studying there in the first year. Rahul went to the 5th floor of the men's hostel at 11:55 p.m. on 29th March 2025. Did you know that on the next day, 30th March, was Rahul's 21st birthday? However, just a day before his birthday, he jumped from the building and committed suicide at 11:55 p.m. on 29th March. After the incident, a huge alarm was raised, people were shocked, and the police was immediately called. He was taken to the hospital. However, Rahul had passed away. A very terrible incident. Some students say that Rahul took this step because he failed in his exams a few days back and he was under a lot of pressure. They state this as the reason. Rahul's mother is named Swarnalata and she stays in Telangana. Before the incident, they were in touch. On 29th March, also they had a video call. After the video call, in the evening, Rahul himself messaged his mother by saying that please care for my brother and my father. Swarnalata found this very suspicious. She immediately tried to call Rahul. However, despite multiple calls, his phone was switched off. She was very worried. She finally connected with Rahul's friend. Rahul's friend picked up the phone. Swarnalata said she wanted to know where Rahul is. He disconnected the call and connected with another friend. Immediately after that, he disconnected the call. 10 minutes later, the friend informed Rahul's mother that Rahul was taken to the hospital due to an incident. The mother was shocked. She immediately reached Prayagraj on 30th March 2025. She reached in the afternoon. She was desperate to look for her son. She had already reached the college. She was stunned to hear the news about his death. She was extremely distraught and she was crying. Actually, Rahul is a terrific student. Rahul, in his JEE mains exam, secured an All India rank of 52 in the economically weaker sections category. He only used his phone, he watched TV and he stayed in the house. He never liked going out a lot. He would always go with his mother for speech therapy and come back home. He would talk to her through video call and would always communicate with her and had a very good conversation and talks with her. On 27th March 2025, Rahul asked his mother for 500 rupees. She immediately sent him the money. After this terrible incident occurred. His mother does not know the reason for this. Generally, in a suicide, the person generally leaves a note. However, Rahul did not leave a note, which is why the police feel this is a case of suicide. And they feel that he took this step because he failed in his exams. Some other students have said that Rahul took this step because the college did not provide any accessibility and no sign language accessibility. They said that an Indian sign language interpreter should have been provided. The college has ordered a 3-member committee to investigate the incident and give an update within 1 week. After this incident, another incident happened on 29th March. It is very unfortunate. This person died of a cardiac arrest. Here is what happened. There was a 20-year-old named Akhil Katrawat, and he was an outstanding sportsperson and footballer. He was from Rangareddy, Telangana. That's where his family was, and he was in Uttar Pradesh to study at the IIT Institute. He had a few ailments and he was seeking treatment at a private hospital. On 29th March 2025, he returned back to the college. That's where he started becoming breathless, his body was paining, and his legs were paining. He immediately wanted to go to a hospital. He went to the college health center where they offered an ambulance to drop him at the United Hospital. However, before that, none of the staff or the medical assistants at the center helped him or gave him any painkillers. The students were the ones that accompanied him in the ambulance. Once they reached the United Hospital, they immediately took him to the hospital doctors, but there were no experts available over there. Akhil was in a lot of pain and the leg pain had become unbearable. An orthopedic doctor noticed his leg pain and suggested that he do an MRI scan. However, MRI facilities were not available at the United Hospital. When they decided to go to the other hospital, the ambulance had by then left. Akhil's condition had started worsening. They had to transfer him to the emergency ward. Over there, instead of providing treatment, they began lecturing Akhil and his friends. Despite this, they kept ignoring them. Luckily, by then, another ambulance had arrived. Immediately, Akhil was then taken to another hospital for the MRI scan. However, they made them wait for 4 hours because the MRI was not available. Akhil was in a lot of pain. After 1.5 hours, his patience had worn out. He could not bear the pain anymore. This is why they went back to the United Hospital. When Akhil was brought there, doctors noticed that his face and his entire body had become very critical. They took him to the ICU. However, his breathing drastically reduced, his oxygen levels reduced. One side of his body, one of his legs became paralyzed. His brain functions had slowed down. He couldn't even speak or communicate. Despite all of the doctor's efforts, his oxygen began to plummet. They then gave him CPR and tried to resuscitate him twice. Despite all of this, Akhil passed away. This is a very terrible tragedy, and the friends and students blamed the hospital, the institute, doctors for not providing aid at the right time, and this was a reason for his death. There's a suicide and this another death, and all the students are massively outraged and are leading protests. They are demanding that the families of each of the persons be provided 1 crore compensation. The directors and the college faculty members then had a discussion, and they decided to each of them compensate from their own pockets and compensate the family. They decided to compensate each of the families 15 lakh rupees. However, the families refused to accept this. They then decided to give 25 lakh compensation to each family. A terrible tragedy. On 1st April 2025, the students led a candlelit march to commemorate the memories of the two students, and the college was remained shut. IIIT Allahabad had a major discussion where all the officials shared their opinions and they finally made a slew of measures. All of these measures will ensure that people with disability get all the accessibility they need. It will be implemented from 1st April 2025. Whatever problems people with disabilities face, it will be sorted out through a team of counselors. Whatever the demands of the PWDs are in regards to accessibility will be evaluated and worked on immediately. A golf car will be provided to people with disabilities so that they can travel from the hostel to the classroom. This pickup and drop facility will be provided, and the process to purchase this is in process. Currently, they've used a hired car to provide this accessibility. IIT Allahabad has multiple people with disabilities studying there. There are a total of 77, where there are 12 women and 65 men. These include various disabilities such as people with locomotor disabilities, the blind, deaf, etc. These measures will be implemented from 1st April 2025. The directors, faculty members have all come together to to go through all people with disabilities accessibility needs, and they have also included placement opportunities because they want to ensure that whatever PWDs are selected through job placements should not provide any accessibility barriers, and this will help companies to become an inclusive space as well.